You want to do the summer?
No, not me. I got 2 years old now. So we're planning their birthday.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. They're both twins?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the way, because I normally don't do that. But we really have to. Really have to. You should put yourself, you know, you don't know what to think there.
They're just vendors practically, right? So what they do.
But you know what, they're vendors, but there may be a conflict when we have two board members being sued, but that's also, they know the legal questions.
I have 2, I have 11.
I'm gonna keep it to myself.
We're planning on doing it in October. And all that.
That's the thing is that for 2 and they can still buy them stroller, like the prices reduced, right? I need my 6-year-old to buy my stroller. Like he's like that, seriously. I'm like, yeah. Hey, I'm here for a couple hours. They don't care. So then, first, my wife's brother's wife, my sister-in-law, worked for Disney. So early on, we had a great deal. Like, we would just go up and she would give us a pass. And we would go for a couple hours, and that's all they can buy. So it doesn't matter if you stay there from there to fireworks, or you go for a couple hours. It's still the same price. So we save so much money with that. And then the plan changed, and we're not like, call that. Our kids are dead after 3 hours. You get up, you go wait in line. Ride a 30-second ride, go wait in line for another 2 hours. It is not the happiest place. It's miserable. But you know what I would say? We absolutely love Disney movies. Hands down. Are you? Way better than the theme park. You get to see every character. There it is. Oh, it's beautiful. The food is spectacular.
Okay, so going. Good. Last walking. Good. Andaba corriendo, comprando, buscando un famoso Juan. ¿Tiene mandil?
Is this 2 copies? The same thing?
He has no idea. Okay.
Are these 2 copies of the same thing?
This is the draft, this is the final. And the difference ¿Puede participar por teléfono? Perfect. 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, there's
Oh, yeah. Well, I was going to say, do you have the agenda? There's like 2 items.
¿Qué te quiere, Wally? No te preocupes, que los dos podemos empezarnos como jugo y después irnos a tomar un trago.
Yo no veo,
Comer una torta.
pero yo te quiero igualito.
Yo tampoco.
I'm sorry? Thank you. Yes, I was.
Yes, welcome.
Thank you very much. Good evening. Call to order, please.
Meeting called to order. It is 7:10. Proof of due meeting notice. Nancy, the meeting notice was posted on.
Yes, sir, on Monday.
Well over 48 hours in advance. We have 2 topics on the agenda, and one of them being discussion of the 2018 election policy. Actually, do a quick roll call. Everybody's here present except Leslie.
Can we have Leslie on the phone, please?
Oh, you're going to have Leslie on the phone? Yeah. Are we calling her or you are?
I call her.
I have 2% battery life. So.
No problem.
So unless we wrap this meeting up in 10 minutes, we'll do.
Nancy, I sent you a last email. Can you print it out and share it with the board, please? Just like 5 minutes ago. I'm sorry.
5 minutes ago, I have to go to my office. Excuse me
Okay.
for a second.
We have Leslie on the line.
Okay,
I will be
let's
right
start
back.
line. So we have a full quorum of the board.
I know I took my package, but I don't have, never mind. I'll use Saskia.
I would appreciate if we can wait a couple of minutes until we bring some documentations that came in. Yeah, came in late, so I'd like to share it with everybody. So we got all residents here.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Is there lighting missing, or is it just the time of day? Time of day, right?
What are we waiting for?
Some legal documentation that came in at last minute, and I want to share with the complete board. I apologize. I just sent it 5 minutes before because it got late in. So has been the rollouts? Sorry?
No tenemos plata. Las reservas están en cero.
I don't think that.
El presidente ha hecho un trabajo tan mal.
I do my best.
I'm always laughing.
¿Tú le preguntas a la tesorera o al presidente?
Que yo sepa, ¿no? Que se encarguen lo que le tienen que cobrar a él, y yo entiendo.
Eso lo va a cubrir José.
Maybe.
José, que es el que mejor le está yendo aquí de todos. Yo voy a irme a vender pastillitas.
You're so sarcastic. Then you wonder
Maybe you can try the TV too.
I like that. That's the best offer I've had all year.
Ahora que... ¿Cómo? No, medios.
Ahí donde hicimos el juramento, que la
That's rough numbers. That's
La mujer no cambia.
No, pero incluía todo 7 ahora.
sí, ajá.
¿Dónde salió José? Incluía todo 7.
Me sentí abusado.
Pobre de ti. Tienes que jalar ese teléfono y llamar antes de todo.
No, pero yo creo que lo personal no va a cambiar entre nosotros, que podemos tener
Nunca.
diferentes opiniones, eso es todo.
Nunca, pero jala el teléfono sirve.
Juan, deberíamos de contactarte a ti para firmar las
Yo hablé
sesiones.
con Leslie y
So organically, or
nos entendemos.
Very
Sí,
nice.
yo me voy a
Great
entender.
equipment.
Pero eso es lo que te digo, jala el teléfono. Por un lado el texto no se entiende uno. Pero tú siempre jalas el teléfono. ¿Por qué no jalaste el teléfono?
so it's a company that creates.
Me sentí maltratado, no por ti, pero estoy honesto, no por ti, pero entonces como...
Mira, acuérdate de una cosa. El que vive por paga muere por paga.
Sí,
Tenemos que hacer paz con todo.
y yo lo puse, fue un secreto. Yo lo puse escrito. Y realmente... Pero yo creo que lo personal entre nosotros va primero que nada, ¿entiendes? Esto para mí mierda. Entonces, tomarlo en consideración. Yo quiero más.
Y tú sabes que si tú hubiese tenido donde mí, me hubiese hubiese dicho, Milena, yo quiero para transparencia llevarme a este señor y demostrarle. ¿Por qué
Clemente.
no te iba a apoyar en eso?
Pero una
He's the one
pregunta.
that's leading the lawsuit against us.
¿Por qué
No, yo nunca dije.
I already have in my draft, but I want to need them when
¿De
you
qué? Yo nunca dije.
Ellos te tiraron bajo el cuello, fue la única que te defendió. Tu hermana estaba aquí al lado mío.
Pero mi punto es, si yo no tengo nada que es incorrecto.
Is that a joke?
Pero,
Entonces
yes.
parece...
Oh,
I'm sorry?
okay.
I apologize.
Okay, well,
Entonces, sí. José no tiene nada. ¿Por qué no venís? La gente con que él está trabajando, que sabe que queremos.
let the record show that I didn't laugh.
Pero,
Que seamos perfectos.
I do laugh.
pero yo tal vez no lo vi de la misma manera que tú lo viste, porque yo no sentí que era lo incorrecto. ¿Me entiendes? No sentí, yes, I'm sorry. Yes,
Homeowners are only supposed to be here, right?
I understand, yeah.
So who are these two gentlemen that I don't know? Why are they here? Lawyers. You're an attorney?
I'm with Castle.
You guys are.
I'm from Cuevas Garcia, one of the association's attorneys.
I'm sorry?
No, the association's attorney is not Cuevas.
We're one of the association's attorneys.
Let's,
No, but I'm sorry.
So
I'm
we
sorry.
have representation of
sorry.
an attorney.
I'm sorry. Who invited you here?
I was invited by officers of the association.
But this is a board meeting. This is nothing to be discussed with a legal matter.
Clemente,
So can you please step outside? I'm sorry?
But wait a
By
second.
who? By who?
Okay,
You know?
so hold on a second.
Aquí tenemos un abogado de Cuevas. I'm sorry, this,
Hold on a second, because you need to hear Madeline first.
Okay.
And give her the respect.
no, but I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, I'm sorry.
You got-
Order. Order. First of all, there wasn't an invitation for any legal firm to come into this board meeting. I want to make that clear. Second of all, I don't understand why we have a representative from Cuevas' office at a board meeting. So before we start with the meeting, I'm going to make a motion to ask the legal representative from Cuevas' office to be removed from the meeting. Anybody wants to second it?
I'll second it, but maybe.
I'm sorry, this is a second. Let me open it for discussion, please. Okay, we have a second on Sandra. I'm going to open it for discussion.
Hold on, have we even done roll call, proof of due notice? We've missed all of that.
No, we did not. It was done.
And
It was.
we've already done it? Okay.
Over the phone and.
I just want to make sure that we're following the agenda.
Yeah, I think that
Okay.
they did it correctly.
Yeah, Leslie on speakerphone, we have it.
Okay, so at this moment, I want to ask discussion from the board. Any comment you want to make?
Well, if I'm not mistaken, in one of our board meetings, we specifically voted on who was going to be our association's attorney. And if I'm not wrong, it was Gary Mars.
But that's not the issue at this moment.
So I don't know
incorrect.
why he's coming here saying
no.
that he's an
That's
association's
incorrect, and that
attorney.
has never
Can I
been
please-
voted.
Okay, we do have, I'm going to make a statement. Can I please address it? We do have on a package, on approval, electoral procedures, two firms actually representing the Rhode Isles. One is Cuevas' office, and the other one is Mars' office.
That is correct.
But we didn't invite them. We didn't invite neither Mars' office, neither Cuevas' office to be here. So I do think that it's fair that if we're going to have one, he shouldn't be here unless the other side is here too. And that's why I'm asking to please take a vote on whether we want him to be here or not to be here. Okay?
If I may just add a comment, I think maybe if there were officers who actually reached out to you. Is this on? No. Isn't someone turning it on?
better? Okay. If there's someone who's on the board who wishes to have an attorney present and goes out of their way to invite him, then the attorney should really wait outside until it's discussed, and then there is either a vote to allow him to participate or not. So that would be my only comment. I mean, I'm going to do what the majority says. I personally believe that we've been doing the elections for such a long time that I don't think we need to be paying attorneys to actually be here. There's a lot of information that's already been submitted for our consideration, and we can move forward. So really, it's not even fair to you, even though I do have a difference since you're the one leading the lawsuit against two board members here. So I have,
But that is-
I know, and I know that that's not the case,
That
but
has
as
nothing to do
even,
with this.
Excuse me, Milena, but even as a courtesy to you, as an attorney, it isn't fair for you to be listening, because you were probably, whether right or not, asked to come by someone who believes they had the authority to do so.
Right.
So really, as a courtesy to you, I think it would even be best for you to wait outside while the vote is taken.
Thank you. Madeleine?
Madeline?
You can step out.
Okay. So hold on a second, because first of all, there needs to be clarity here. And my understanding is that Madeline, as vice president, while the board president was away, decided that there was some legal issues that were going to be brought up, that the members should have the opportunity to confirm and ask questions on the other side, because the package solely has only what Gary Marr's recommendations are. And therefore, it really doesn't make sense to have one recommendation brought up, but yet not the other side to answer questions that we as a board are not going to be able to answer. We cannot answer any legal questions that I'm sure majority of you out there will have. And that's why I would say we should allow the members and not disenfranchise anyone from obtaining any confirmations from the legal department that has conflicts that are going to be brought up today.
All right, thank you. I'm sorry, this is a board discussion at this moment, but I would also look, I totally agree with what Milena is saying, but I do think that it's fair that if we have one firm, we should have the other firm, and that as...
I agree with that. It should be the two lawyers present, because it's not fair to be one and another one on the other one.
Listen,
Or the recommendation of the other one. I don't know why we don't have Andy's recommendation.
As a matter of fact, I made a comment to, I think you, I even mentioned to you, I think I expect the other attorney here. It makes sense. So that's why I was surprised that there was no other law
All right,
firm here.
so...
I agree. I'm surprised that there's not another law firm here.
Okay, so...
No.
No, but at this moment, I think that the board has the right, so we have the discussion right now. We don't know if the other firm is available, so we have a vote. Is there any other discussion from Saskia?
Saskia?
Okay, so we have a vote on the table. Everybody in favor?
Can you repeat the motion so that Leslie's clear on it?
Yeah, I'm making a motion to ask the legal firm from Cuevas' office to step outside, since it's only one firm here, and we don't have the other firm representing the association at the board meeting, so for him to step outside.
Yes, but I said, but it's not, in my opinion, it's not fair to have Gary's recommendation and not Andy's recommendation.
I agree with you, Leslie.
I don't understand.
I agree.
Because if we are going to have two firms working with the elections, we need both firms' recommendation.
Okay, but why didn't...
Thank you.
Okay, but we didn't have his recommendation submitted.
But we do have it. Cuevas wrote a recommendation, and that's what was supposed to be voted on at the last board meeting.
Recommendations
So
from each
excuse me, I'm not done. It has been submitted in writing, so did you submit something in writing, Mr. Cuevas' representative?
Jose Torres. Actually, I don't know if there was anything submitted in writing, or maybe it may have been submitted by Andy. I personally didn't submit anything, but I know that we actually provided our recommendations
Some time ago.
pursuant to our review of the resolution that maybe was under consideration at a previous board meeting. It's like a 2 or 3 page resolution. And just to make it easier also, in reality, the recommendations that we've seen from Gary Marr's office and our own recommendations are actually very similar, and the difference is really only hinge on 2 or 3 topics. So in the future, you guys do want to have a meeting to discuss those differences and have both firms available.
Awesome, that is, love your recommendation, but at this moment, I think that that's something that we'll discuss. So we have a vote on the table.
But I think Leslie's point is right, and I have not spoken on her comment, which is, if we're going to be discussing one firm's recommendation, I think that we should have the other firm look at that recommendation and be able to opine on it. And at this moment, there has been last-minute emails that have been sent to this board not giving the other attorneys the opportunity to give their opinion on those recommendations.
I see your point, Milena, but for this to be fair and so they can actually discuss it, it will be better if we have both legal recommendation here and that we can actually see what he's recommending and let's just face what, let's print it out. Send us, can we get management his recommendation and let's share it with the board. But we don't need him here to be answering questions from the board. We only need your recommendation.
Jose, one question,
Yes.
one question, because we have a meeting right now and we need to read and see what's going to happen with the elections. Okay, if the management has a recommendation written by Andy Cuevas.
Jose Torres stated that his.
I don't know if Andy submitted. I didn't submit one personally. Maybe Andy did.
Yes.
Did he? Okay.
There has been a previous, Leslie, there has been a previous recommendation. However, there have been new recommendations and changed recommendations from Gary Mars that now match Cuevas' recommendations. And because they must have realized that their recommendations from the beginning were not suitable for the association. And that was never transferred over to Cuevas' office. And that should have been transferred. But let me remind everybody in this meeting, this is a special meeting. This is not a board meeting. And therefore, not the president, anyone on this board can make a motion, okay, on anything else than what we have right now pending on the agenda. So therefore, we cannot all of a sudden decide to make a motion, second it, and approve another motion other than what we have on this.
Can we have clarity from management specifically on that procedure?
I think an attorney can go ahead and
We don't need.
opine on that. It's a legal question.
First of all,
And the legal question is,
Milena, first of all,
hold
listen,
on.
I'm sorry.
In a special meeting, you cannot deviate
I'm sorry,
from the
but let me
agenda.
ask you something. First of all, I'm going to ask, if we're going to have a legal representative here, we should have communicated to the complete board.
The vice president did not put that on the agenda.
I'm sorry. Please, let's keep it calm. Let's have a nice meeting. We want to make this as short as possible and smooth as possible. We don't have to go all beyond our way. There's not a communication that I know or I have knowledge of an invitation to any legal firm. If we had an invitation, it should have been to both law firms. At this moment, I don't even understand how do you obey to come here without a board approval.
He received the vice president's phone call where she
When
has
did
the
you
Why don't
receive
you let
right.
the vice president speak?
Hold on.
I'm sorry.
The vice president.
I'm sorry, but I'm gonna ask, but I'm asking him a
ahead.
question. I'm sorry. When did you receive that phone call?
I think it was yesterday.
Okay, I'm sorry, but somebody was acting without authority because I was here yesterday. I was the president, and I am the president at that moment.
I understand. But
Was that yesterday or the day before yesterday?
Yesterday.
an email sent recently by Andy where he mentioned there was a lot of conflict in.
No, I didn't. We're not discussing
I
that.
understand, but before you continue, so there is an issue involving officers and their authority to request.
And we will address that later on.
Okay, I understand, but what I'm trying to get to you is if we had any kind of clear authority that we were not to come, we wouldn't be here, okay?
And if you had a clear authority that you're here,
Now that I'm here, okay, if a majority of the board does not feel comfortable with my being here, you don't want to take, I guess, advantage of the time that I'm here to ask me questions?
Well,
you'd rather-
very nice
No, no.
you said.
Thank you very
nice
much.
Excuse me, ma'am, please. If you want to wait until there's another opportunity for both firms to be present,
Yeah.
with questions, well, I'm happy to do that.
thank you.
But my point goes back to, this is a special meeting, and there's nothing else that can be added to this agenda other than what's already on the agenda.
I understand, but as a matter
So
of
there is
fact,
no motion that can take place
No
on
problem.
whether an attorney can be here or not
I'm sorry.
because of the fact that this is a special meeting.
Perfect. I'm going to ask management recommendation on how to address having somebody here that is not supposed to be here.
Making money and we're paying for it.
Well, I mean, so Melena's point is accurate. So the purpose of a special meeting is only for the purpose in which it is called, right? That's the only discussion that can be had. Now, we have a special circumstance with obviously Jose being here. So, basically what Jose has said is if the majority of the board doesn't want him to be here, then obviously he will comply. So, if the majority of the board would like for him to stay, or there's a clear enough reason as to why he should stay, then, it would be up to Jose to make the decision on whether he wants to go or stay.
Yeah, but he's not the one that is supposed to make the decision. We are
It's the board.
we are the one that decided
No, I'm
we
sorry,
want to
there's
have
a
him.
compelling reason
Because
from the
we're
board.
paying for him to be here without knowing that I was going to pay for him.
All I'm saying is, as per chapter 720, a special
Can I speak
meeting
after
is
her,
only
please?
what's on the agenda, and you cannot vote anything else.
I'm sorry, yeah. Okay, but
Well, we're trying to solve a situation
sorry,
that
I'm
Madeline and Milena created without notifying the whole board. So
listen,
he needs to leave the room.
please, order, please, listen. At this moment, we have somebody that is not, has nothing to do at this moment with this board, and we need to understand that we have to respect.
That is a
Sorry.
board member's husband that's saying all this, by the way.
Okay,
It's not his fault. So we have the right to be disrespectful to another that was asking.
but we're not being disrespectful.
Thank you.
and we're
No,
telling you.
that is,
So
true.
I'm asking, okay, please, order.
And that's not
Order. So I'm asking, since you were not formally and correctly asked to be here so you can be paid by the board, I'm asking you to please step outside because there's not an authorization for you to be here.
I disagree with that, Jose. I disagree with that. He has been retained by the association. The vice president has asked him to be here. He is here. There is nothing and there is no motion that this board can pass that would ask him to leave. He's not-
I'm sorry.
Do we
Listen,
want to get
I'm
on
sorry.
with the discussion
I'm
of the
sorry.
2018 election?
Ted, I'm sorry. I'm going to ask. I'm sorry, order.
This is a board discussion at the moment, please. Allow the board to discuss.
Look, this is becoming way too toxic,
Yes.
okay? Quite frankly, if a majority doesn't want to take advantage to ask me questions this time, that's fine.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Okay?
Thank you.
If you can, just, if you don't mind, take a vote, just so it's on the
No,
record.
we're not taking.
We can't take a
We
vote.
don't need to take a vote because we were not invited for the board.
The majority is
Yeah.
to escort one of the associate attorneys outside, that's fine.
We have a retainer with this firm, and therefore, if he is being asked by the majority of the board
But
to
But we're not
be
taking.
moved, I need it on the record that they made a
Jose,
motion.
I've asked several
it
times
was
to speak,
second,
Jose.
And was it voted on?
Okay.
Was
We
it
haven't
voted on,
voted
Jose?
but there's not a vote asking for you to come
Okay,
here.
there is no vote. Wait, but Jose, hold on a second, because I think,
Yeah, let's move on.
I think we are wasting everybody's time.
Okay, let's move on.
Jose, I think that we should we should go with the discussion, and if the members have any questions to you, you should be able to answer those questions.
But that's your
Okay?
opinion.
Again,
Sir,
I think that's only fair for the members.
thank you. Thank you.
It's a special meeting.
Thank you. Yes,
I think you should.
okay.
No motion, no approval.
This. Okay, we're gonna start the meeting. We actually.
No, it needs to be documented that they requested Cuevas' office.
No, we.
There was a motion made, it was seconded, and then it did not go through because I brought up the fact that this is a special meeting and they could not vote on it.
Okay, and
Hey,
that
no,
we don't have quorum for asking a
and
legal.
this is-
I'm sorry, Milena. Let me finish, please. And I'm sorry. And we didn't have authorization by majority of the board to ask a legal representation to be here.
But he did have the authority from the vice president to be here.
All right,
can we move on?
Okay.
Guys, please.
Yeah, order, please.
Jose,
Okay.
please, can we move on?
Yeah.
We've been here for half an hour and we don't know
Okay.
what the legal problem is.
Okay.
Let's get
So
going.
I'm gonna. Okay. We're gonna.
Pone speaker y ya
Ahí está en speaker.
No, no está. Ahora
Okay.
Oh, because
I'm sorry, Leslie, you were saying?
Now, I think we need an additional recommendation because we cannot only talk about Gary's recommendation because we are in the same thing as we need everything to be clear on both sides, I think.
Okay, I'm gonna send an email with Andy's recommendations to management so they can print it out and we can share it with the board.
Okay, so then what are we here for? To discuss one recommendation?
No, I'm gonna stay while we're here.
Okay, because that's what it seems like.
I'm gonna actually discuss.
Let's take a,
Thank you.
Are you gonna discuss?
Jose's idea is to discuss
But
only one
I'm gonna explain right now, if we can give me a chance, you can everybody be on the same page.
I'm sorry, what was the question? I didn't get the question.
Okay, so we started the meeting, and I'm gonna issue a statement. I asked this. Item to be placed on tonight's agendas because I'm very concerned that members of this board did not communicate to the complete board on some legal matter presented. It is no surprise that for years, the annual meetings and election process of our association has faced challenges. In hope of creating a better process, I am consent of a majority of the board request that our legal counsel, Gary Mars, and SARHL review the association previous election process and prepare an election procedure for the board review. I'll read it.
it's his comment.
Yeah, this is
Okay,
mine.
so this is coming from Yvonne, so that you
I'm sorry,
can
I
read
wrote
this.
this.
Okay,
I wrote
but it
this.
says Yvonne address.
Milena,
Okay.
can you, like,
So-
let's hear the president stop
I'm just
interrupting?
wondering, okay, go ahead.
Milena, can you let him speak?
It's, oh, give me a break.
Milena,
So, I'm sorry.
Give me a break.
Milena, contrólate, Milena,
Say,
contrólate.
where is this
can we
coming
have-
from?
Milena, let him read it.
Listen.
Is this from you?
Yes, it's from me.
Oh, this is from
Yeah,
you?
this is from me.
Okay, but
Jose.
Yvonne address
But how
wrote
do you
it.
know that it's, I mean,
Because it says it right there.
wrong. It
It
doesn't say
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Let him speak.
Jose,
Thank you. Order, please. Order, please.
Guys, please order everyone. The
Jose.
board is having a
So we
discussion
have
right
Yvonne
now.
address.
so she's not
I don't need to.
hovering.
Okay. Okay. Empieza.
Maria, please.
Several months ago, the majority of the board approved an election process prepared by Mayor's office. A week later, certain members of the board presented an election process to Andy Cuevas and his law firm. Mr. Cueva, without a majority of the board's directions, responded by presenting counterpoints to the election process that was already approved by the board. The same members of the board involved Mr. Cuevas' firm directing management to prepare an annual meeting package completely disregarding the election procedure formally approved by the majority of the board. The meeting package was drafted disregarding the elections procedure formally approved by the majority of the board. The meeting package was drafted by management using Cuevas' 2017 elections process as a template, and the draft meeting package was forwarded for both Cuevas' office and Mrs. Marr's office for review. On August 9th, no, I'm sorry. On the same night, on July 12, 2018, the Board of Directors held a meeting where annual meeting was discussed. Shockingly, in July 12 of 2018, communication received by the majority of the board, it was never mentioned during the board meeting or the board members who received a copy of the email that it was brought to the concern upon the meeting or advised that the community had concerns. Never exposed to the complete board and only to several board members. I received an email from Castle Management that the annual meeting package drafted by management and based on last year's election process was mailed to all homeowners and unbeknown to the remainder of the board members. On August, with a date set of August 29th and August 30th. I had no idea that that date had been set for an annual meeting. While some of my fellow board members seem very comfortable allowing history of the election challenges previously faced by the association to occur once again, I for one believe a modified elections procedures attempting to address concerns of the past is within the best interest of the community. I have only come here as one of my main reasons is to guarantee and present an transparent, crystal clear elections with no benefits for nobody.
Thank you.
That is, I'm sorry.
I'm written on the 720.
Correct.
You don't need a lawyer.
Correct.
You keep spending money and money. I want
Can-
to know how much this is costing us.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you. Let me finish my statement.
You're right.
Can I finish my statement, please? Okay. Therefore, I would like to make the following motion to reaffirm and approve the resolution of the Board of Directors of the Raw Laos Community. There is a motion. On the items, no, I'm sorry. I am very sorry, but I would like to, let me finish.
What did you say?
Just abstain, we'll move
Correct.
forward with the motion.
Okay, and I want to make a motion to approve the resolution of the Board of Directors of the Raw Laos Communication Association regarding election procedures as modified in this document. I further move that on August 29th and August 30th annual meeting should be canceled and rescheduled for September 6th and 7th.
No.
To allow, I'm sorry, to allow
Let him make
an
his
ample
motion.
and notice mailing of an annual meeting notice package, which was drafted, I'm sorry,
Maria, please.
and revised in accordance with the elections. But listen, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. I asked for agenda.
This is a special
Listen.
meeting. It's
Listen.
okay, let him finish. Let him finish. No, he can't. No, he can't. You
Can
are
the
wrong.
president finish his
No.
statement and
Can we
can the board
please-
stop interrupting?
Can we?
You have to know what you're doing.
But listen, since I'm not gonna ask again for everybody to please calm down and behave like adults that we are.
We have to say the same to you as members of our board.
But-
You're all totally out. I cannot understand.
Thank
Why are we
Maria.
spending-
Let me.
I want to know
But
how much money
we'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there. Maria, we'll get there.
So far, $10,000.
We'll get there.
And we haven't had $10,000.
So,
And we haven't had the elections
Okay.
yet.
So coming here.
As you're doing.
Okay, order please. Guys, order.
We'll see it.
Order. Okay, so
You're the ones that, you're the treasurer, you're the one that signs the checks.
order.
Please, let Jose finish.
Please.
I signed the checks, but my signature is not on them.
Please. Can we, hey,
Do you see whose signature is on that check?
Order, please.
Guys, yes,
Please.
please, let Jose finish his point so we can
Okay,
move along.
so I have a motion on the table. I would like to know if there's a second.
I'm going to move forward with the second on this motion. And then, Mr. President, I'm going to be brief on my comments, but if I could open the discussion.
Okay, so we have a second.
I'm in favor of moving forward. I've had an opportunity to review both, what was provided at the last board meeting and this. There are actually minimal changes, but I too was very surprised that the package went out. So I think that's going to be a separate issue. The other thing is, I did not agree with the fact that some of the meeting would actually be open. So I have thoroughly reviewed it. I've identified it. One more thing, Mr. President. I believe we can move forward with the motion, take a vote. If it passes, passes. Those that may not agree, then they can abstain or they can leave the meeting, whatever they wish to do. But there's a motion, and I think we should move forward with it.
Okay, thank you, Sandra. Okay, Ansa, any comments?
Well, I read the motion, and I think we should go forward and vote on it.
It's a one-week difference.
Yeah, it's not a big deal.
Okay. Okay, Leslie, any comment?
Okay, one question. About this, the only difference here is the date that is going to change? Or there's another difference?
No. Okay, so we're going to read actually the recommendation. We just needed to make a motion. There's a second, so we're going to actually read the motion now so we can discuss it. That was going to be my approach, was to come in here just by the second. So as a matter of fact, at this moment, I'm going to read the recommendation from that we have from Mar's office, so we can actually communicate it with the complete board and the residents in the board in the meeting.
So when are you going to open it up for discussion?
I would like to read the.
So you made the motion, it's second, and now you're going to read
And then we can discuss.
what the differences are.
Correct.
Okay. I just want to put it on record This is a special meeting. The agenda says discussion of election. It doesn't say approval.
I sent and asked,
Let me finish, please. In a special meeting, it specifically states that you are solely to discuss what is on the agenda. Okay? On the agenda, we have discussion of elections. We don't have discussion and approval. We don't have discussion and changing of any board package or any resolution that has been made in the past. So if you're going to go contrary to, and this is chapter 720. Yeah. If you're going to go contrary to that, we need for that to be documented, because this motion will not pass according to DBPR. And as a board member, we have every right to report it to DBPR. Okay. And as a management company, you have every right to report it to DBPR.
And I want to make it very clear, and I want to make this statement here, that we are bringing this issue, first of all, because important information from a legal opinion was not shared with the complete board.
Ray shared it all.
No, that's not true.
No, it was not.
This is me, this is my...
You weren't here.
Okay, but...
Did you review the video?
Yes, I did.
Let him speak,
Okay.
Yes, I did.
I'm asking questions, and I'm talking to him, not you speaking. Let him speak.
Can we have order?
So when you reviewed the video,
Yeah.
I would like to respectfully ask you the question. What was it that Ray discussed that was not part of...
But that's not my point. My point is that...
but that is a question that I have for you.
But this is when we finish my point, then we go to your question.
Milena, let him speak.
Okay, but I'll take care of myself, please. Listen, my point is, the document or the legal recommendation was not shared to the board. What we had was a communication coming from Ray Nunez, who interpreted some information and communicated to the difference. But the written legal opinion was not shared with the complete board. I even sent an email.
It wasn't a legal opinion.
It was?
It was an email conversation and back and forth amongst board members.
She sent
it did not come in as a recommendation
and even it stated that if we would go further with this procedure that was presented after one was approved.
There were 4 points on there.
But let me finish.
Ray brought up the 4 points.
Did you discuss, Ray, and I'm asking you directly, that if the procedure that was presented after it was already approved, the first one, the second one was presented and approved, that we had Mar's office, after we authorized both firms to be here, that he was going to remove himself?
So what was brought up at the meeting was the 4 points that Mars had issues with, that were discrepancies between his procedure, his recommendation versus Andy's. I don't recall if it was stated that Mars, if we went with Cueva's recommendation, would not attend the meeting.
Was that disclosed?
I don't recall.
I don't believe it was clear. And second of all, this week, and I'm not circulating it because it does say attorney-client privilege, it seems that Gary's information only went to a select few board members. And thanks to the president, that was actually circulated to all of us as a group. So there's been, for months, only 4 people have been receiving information, and we didn't get it. So again, I want to thank the president for bringing out. My vote was still to not support, what this board presented at the last board meeting. So I wasn't supportive of it, and now I'm thankful I wasn't, because after reading the additional comments, I still stand by the fact that that was flawed in a couple of areas.
If my memory serves me well, the first motion that was made to approve that recommendation from Cuevas' office was Ms. Sandra Ruiz.
All right, we can view the
Okay.
video and then
For purposes of discussion, which is an art when you run a
We can verify
meeting.
that later on in the meeting, and when we'll discuss it. Now, I want to make it very clear too, that when I coordinated the agenda with management, my statement put into the agenda was discussion and vote on electoral procedures.
That's not what the agenda says.
Maybe there's a typo, but it was maybe
That
it was
is
a
not
typo.
what the agenda says. The agenda
Maybe it was a
specifically
typo,
says discussion.
But I
Jose.
personally
Your
stated
email, and I have reviewed your email, it says discussion. If you want, I'll pull up your email so that we can all review that you said, let's have a discussion on.
I don't understand how can we send a package.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I don't understand how can we even dare to send a package without the board approving a date or communicating at least to the complete board.
Because,
I'm sorry.
Jose,
I
first,
didn't know what date it was going to be.
you weren't here.
But
Jose,
communicated.
You weren't here.
The
But
resolution is very,
Okay, but I'm asking.
hold on.
Jose, the
Let me say
resolution is
something.
very
May I
clear.
please have the floor?
Jose,
Okay.
the resolution is very
Can I
clear.
get an answer from Ray?
Yeah, I'll answer that. So, Mario, just
Hurry
one
up,
second.
please.
At the last meeting, what was presented to the
Jose,
board,
look at this.
was
It's very
the-
clear that this is what was going to happen. The package states that there's going to be a vote taken tonight.
okay, so the,
That was changed.
But
This was the
what happened at the
last minute
meeting-
one.
would you like me to provide with the information of what happened to the last meeting?
That was submitted to management, that there would be a vote tonight. There's even a resolution that has the date that says,
When?
it's right there.
When did that resolution come in?
It was
That
given
was
to me
the
by,
new draft that was sent at 4:20 today, that says that
No,
the
that's not
board.
true.
Yes, it
That's not
does.
true.
It says that the board is going to
What are
approve
we
it.
talking about?
Listen, it says right here. First of all, it says, it will be approved at an association's board of directors meeting. This is not a board of directors meeting,
But it wasn't approved and it was sent.
okay? But
How can you send it without a board approval?
But this is
Send what
not.
exactly?
This is what he's saying.
He's talking about the resolution that was sent. The resolution says that the
The
attorney.
proposed elections procedures attached here to incorporated here in Exhibit A were considered and adopted at least majority of the Board of Association Board of Directors at a meeting at which quorum was presented held on July 26.
Board of Directors meeting. This is not a Board of Directors meeting.
On behalf of-
We do not have old business. We do not, it's a special meeting. We do not have old business.
Order,
We don't have
okay,
new
let's keep it
business.
here, listen.
We don't
We're
have
really losing sight of the purpose of this meeting, which is to what are the discrepancies between what was sent out and what Gary's recommending. Why don't we talk about that
Let's-
before
let's
any votes are taken or not taken?
Okay.
And because there may not be a need to resend everything out based on the discrepancies, there may be other opportunities for us to implement certain
Okay.
procedures. Let's talk about that
Okay,
first.
so I'm gonna follow your recommendation, and I wanna make it very clear. On these recommendations, we have 4 points. Can you please state the 4 points difference? I'm asking you, Ray. I'm asking Ray.
Of the new resolution?
It's the same, it's what you have, can you,
But the one sent at 4:20 today,
but I'll
or
explain
the
it.
one sent before?
the one that it was sent to the complete board?
Okay. Before he answers that, can I just make something clear?
On this statement?
Yeah, well, on what a special meeting is.
No, we don't need that.
So we
Milena.
don't go through this.
We're gonna do this.
But I do want to, whether it's before he says it or after. Okay, I'll wait.
Jose, I apologize. I mean, I haven't digested the one from this afternoon. My understanding of the differences between Gary Mars' recommendation and Andy's recommendation are 4 points, I believe. The first point, which were conveyed at the meeting last week, the first point is that basically Gary Mars is recommending that the meeting not be called to order on the first day, but rather be called to order on the second day.
Okay.
quorum is established.
After quorum
The
is.
first day is solely for proxy submittal. So anybody carrying a proxy would need to submit their proxy on the first day of, let's just call it the first day of elections for the purpose of this conversation. So on the first day of the election, it's solely for proxies. On the second day, proxies will be reviewed, registered, then the meeting will be called to order, and then ballots will be handed out. Andy is proposing that the meeting be called to order the first day.
Without quorum.
It doesn't need quorum.
But that's.
He's
let's-
calling
He needs to open the
I'm
meeting.
not asking if he needs it, I'm
The
just
meeting is being
stating.
called to order without establishing quorum.
Thank you, keep on.
Yes, the meeting's called.
No, that was Andy's.
That was Andy.
Meeting's called to order without establishing quorum.
Exactly.
Proxies are submitted.
Okay.
There's still a deadline to submit all proxies on the first day.
First,
Right?
okay.
On the second day, there's going to be the registration of the proxies, then the establishment of the quorum, and then, obviously, balloting. One difference is that single voters would be allowed to vote on the first day, whereas Gary is not allowing anybody to vote on the first day.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that's the one major difference. Second major difference is nomination of candidates from the floor.
Okay.
Andy is saying that we have to allow candidates to be nominated from the floor because it's an HOA. Obviously,
it's an HOA.
Gary's opinion differs from that. He says that the board does not have to allow nominations from the floor based on my understanding of his resolution. The third thing is the IDs, whereas Gary is making it mandated that IDs be submitted along with the proxies. If they're not turned in with the proxies, then those proxies are invalid. Whereas Andy is saying that the association should request proxies, but at the end of the day, it would not be grounds for invalidating a proxy.
And I agree with that.
And then the fourth point, yeah, I think it's no balloting on the first day, no meeting called to order on the first day, the IDs, and then the nominations on the floor. I think are the four main points, the four main differences between Gary and Andy's opinion.
And those 4 points were discussed in July 12th.
Okay, so now listening to your point, I'm gonna amend my motion, okay?
Okay.
So as this point, I'm gonna ask that we go with Gary's procedure established by him, where we're gonna allow all single voters to come in to vote after quorum is confirmed. On the same date. We can vote on both days, but by proxies, we can confirm quorum.
Just so that, so basically the proxies are being turned in on the first day.
Correct.
But there's still a procedure in place, according to Gary's procedure, and correct me if I'm wrong, where the proxies are actually being validated the next day.
Yeah.
So quorum would probably not be established until the second day regardless.
But nevertheless, we can actually, by allowing quorums, allowing proxies to come in the first day. First of all, I'm going to start all over again. First of all, we're going to have proxies to be submitted on both days. Only personal proxies both days. But on the first day, only bulk proxies.
Right.
So we're gonna have only people coming for more than 5 proxies to bring it on the first day. In the second date, you cannot bring in more than 5 proxies. A single. Maria, wait. So, Maria, wait. Yes. That's what I'm putting the motion for. So we're gonna ask that we accept proxies on both days after, right? And on the second date, you can only bring individuals' proxies. Why? Listen. Yes, Maria, we can. Let me explain them. Individual proxies is one person bringing maximum of 5 proxies. And let me explain you why. Because that would allow the legal team time to confirm that this proxies could be validated.
Oh my goodness. You cannot turn away, Jose, please. Jose, you cannot turn away a person that brings in 6 proxies versus a person that brings in 5
No, they can come on the first day. They come on the first day.
Listen, Jose, listen, okay. I want him to finish because I have my list of things where I want him to be. That's what I said. I want him to finish because there's a bunch of things that you have a complete misconception, and you have to abide by legal.
Yeah.
And look at Chapter 720.
Okay. So let me just clarify something before you move on. So basically, I obviously conveyed what the initial 5. What you're conveying now is almost like a compromise where you're kind of like the differences that you're going to be instituting into Andy's policy? From what went out, I'm just trying to clarify the procedures that you're stating now. Is that? Like,
no, I'm bringing back
Gary Mars.
Gary's.
Okay.
Where we're gonna change to allowed.
I got you. Okay. So it's Gary's modified policy.
Gary's modified policy, where we allow proxies, voters, individual voters, to come in to vote both days after quorum is reached.
So if they have 5 or more proxies have to be turned in the first day. If they have less than 5 proxies, they can turn it in first or second day.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You cannot
Correct.
create anybody from coming anytime as long as it's.
Maria, we are.
Let her finish with his points.
Maria. But listen, Maria, you have to understand. Listen, we're not. First of all, I want to make it very clear that proxies are going to be brought in for validation. After they're validated, then they will hand it in a ballot so they can vote on it. It's not like they're voting on that day. They're only bringing it for validation. So it's not a vote. We're not turning them. We have to validate it. But
If in the first day, the proxies holder, you get enough quorum, so it's going to be on the second day or the first day?
after we have quorum, we can open the annual meeting and everybody can vote.
But what
Single
Gary's
individual.
recommendation is saying that we don't determine quorum until the second day.
But he's modifying it. I'm asking to be modified that after we reach quorum, we open up the annual meeting.
So when are you going to reach quorum? You're going to determine quorum on the first day?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay, so that is what Cuevas has been saying
But-
all along.
but
We
we can-
determine quorum on the first day.
After we confirm quorum, but we have to confirm it,
Okay.
Milena. It's not like we're going to start. How can you come here and make a vote if there's not a quorum for the board?
Jose,
But can you?
you have to.
So the difference is
You have to,
that they went ahead and used more. The difference that was in July's and the discrepancy was that it was opening up the meeting. When you open up a meeting, you have a board. 7 o'clock, you open up. You have to establish, you open the meeting, you say, by the way, we do have quorum, we establish and you start doing the meeting. If you open the meeting and you don't have quorum, then that's it. Stays in the meeting minutes that it's.
Then there's no meeting.
quorum was established and you close the meeting because no quorum was established. That is the same concept that of the elections.
So there is a difference of opinion between Gary and Andy on that.
Okay.
So
Can I please say something on that? Because I've been trying to hold back on.
Let me finish,
but let me say something on opening up the meeting. Gary has done the elections here back in 2007, 2008. He would always open up the meeting. And in order to move on to the elections, which is what our documents say, you have to determine that you have 20% of the members.
That's exactly what we want.
Either present by proxy or by single ballot vote.
Correct.
So you have to open up the meeting first to determine the quorum. And then after you determine the quorum, you can move on to an election.
Take it.
Because we have to have a yearly membership meeting.
Take it.
So you have a meeting regardless whether you have quorum or not.
Okay, take it.
So hold on. So there's no way that an attorney can say, first, we're going to determine quorum before we have a meeting, because our documents called for us to have a members meeting once a year.
Agree. And this is where I'm going to go, Milena. Look, I understand that some board members are going to interpret it one way and some other members are going to interpret it the other way. But please, let me finish.
Jose, I cannot interpret the law. I'm reading.
Milena, but let me finish,
My
please.
pen.
Okay. So coming to this, let me finish my point and then we can bring it on for discussions, okay? On this point, I'm going to bring it on and I'm open to any amendment of the motion. So after that, I want to make it clear that one of my recommendations for the motions to vote on is that we have a transparent urna, a box where we put the votes.
Making sure it doesn't have any holes.
Correct. Making sure that it doesn't have any holes, as stated by Maria. And listen, please. I need you to pay attention to me, Ray, para yo explicarte esto correctamente para que me ayude. Okay. Primero, first of all, we have a transparent box, clear box, with only one opening at the top. After the night, after the first day, we're gonna close that box with something on top. We're gonna put 2 different locks. One lock is going to be managed by one firm, and the other lock is going to be managed by the other firm.
But why?
Because I'm
But
asking,
wait.
but let me finish.
But I wanna-
But let me finish.
But it doesn't make sense. Why would you have locks in a, hold on, why would you have locks in a box? If Gary's recommendation says
Because-
he's not gonna accept ballots on the first day.
But that's what he said before.
So-
Okay, but listen, I'm willing.
If you're going with that recommendation,
But-
what are you gonna
okay,
be locking
but-
in the
but-
box?
Okay, but because maybe
a
I
bunny
support
rabbit?
you. Maybe I support you.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
But let's work this together.
That's a different story.
But,
I like your thinking
listen,
along
I
that
want to
line.
make this transparent. That's what I'm asking for. I don't want to come here to say it's done my way or your way. What we're doing this is so we can have tranquility from all residents here. And I think that if we can manage something that all of us agree and it's transparent, everybody's going to be happy. And that's our main concern. So if we can have a transparent box where at the end of the day we're going to close it so nothing can come in or out, and then it's going to be locked by 2 locks. One that is going to be controlled by one Cuevas office and the other one is going to be controlled by Mar's office. At this moment, no box can be opened unless both firms are here. That is one.
As long as there's proxies, or I'm sorry, as long as there's ballots in it. I just want to make sure that we agree on that.
But remember,
Because
we're going to
why
have...
go through all that when Gary's recommendation
But
says...
Elena, I'm working with you, so we can go on voting on the first date.
I'm thinking logical.
Okay, but look, let's make it that we can vote on the first date, and if there's a vote, then we can lock it down with this procedure. It's going to be
Okay.
transparent. Nobody's going to have control of it, so we can have that very clear.
Got it.
Okay? Second, we're going to have the transparent box where we're going to allow that. And we move my motion goes that we move to cancel this annual meeting package for the 28th, and we establish it for those first week of November, Wednesday and Thursday. So
November.
September.
How about, I don't want to be on the board till November.
September. I'm sorry, September. So we can have the majority of the residents coming in from vacation to be here. Okay? That's my second one. And my third one is that, yeah, but some people come in late. I'm just trying to have the more people here.
Figure out how many days are you gonna keep it open, because what you're talking about.
We'll go there. We'll go there.
Or is it off?
We'll go there.
Guys,
We'll go there.
let him finish.
And
So
my-
basically, you have 3 points right now that you're
And my
changing.
fourth one is that since we're having representative from Cuevas office, but not Andy Cuevas, and we're having representative from Mars office, not Gary Mars. You want to make the motion, Saskia?
But
let me
she's
finish.
just saying,
But-
okay.
But this is what I'm asking.
All right, you're
I'm making
clarifying
a
it.
statement.
Go
I'm
ahead.
making a statement.
Go ahead.
Okay. So if we already have that, everybody agree. I would like to ask too that we vote on having no Castle Group member that it's actually working at this moment at the Royal Isles present during the elections. But I would like to ask Castle to bring
Another team.
other team with experience to those 2 days at no cost to the association. Okay? So those are
Does that
my...
include me as well?
You're out.
Yeah.
So at this moment, my motion goes there, and I'm willing, and I don't mind, there's a vote, that we amend the package that is sent with these conditions. Okay?
Do you want me to repeat it?
Yeah.
So the 4 points here are, first day proxies will be accepted only if it's 4 or more or 4 or less. 5 or more, 5 or less. So anybody bringing in proxies will be accepted on the first day. Let's make that clear. On the second day, it's only if they have 5 or less.
Yes.
Okay. I'm just repeating what was said. To purchase a transparent ballot box in which the top can be locked, meaning the slot where the ballot goes in, with 2 locks, 1 for each attorney's firm to take with them while it stays here overnight. To change the meeting dates to September 5th.
For it to be open, both firms have to be here.
Correct, okay. Both firms have to be here. Change meeting dates September 5th and 6th. Right? Change the meeting dates from current August 25th, 26th to... And
Monday.
that's a good point. Yeah, I had her check that because Monday's Labor Day
On the 3rd.
on the 3rd. So, I mean, if we're going to change it to September, my recommendation would be the following week.
I'm fine with it.
I mean, I don't know how much longer you guys want to wait, but.
I propose those dates that you're saying.
So what is that? 12 and 13?
12 and 13.
Okay.
Okay. Change meeting dates to September 12th and 13th from August 25th and 26th. And then the third is no castle on-site personnel to administer the meetings. It would be a group brought in from outside of Doral Island.
With no extra cost to the association.
Can I ask you a
Oh,
question?
hold on, Maria. Okay. Can I talk now?
But hold on. So I guess the question would be, is this just changing the procedures that went out, modifying these 4 points?
You don't have to redo a package for that.
The only problem, listen,
Of course you have to redo it.
we have to change the date. So it has to be.
Why the date? Why are you going to change the date then?
Because we want to have the most of the residents here.
Why? School starts August 20th.
There are people that don't have kids that we want to have them here.
Most people.
Yeah.
No. What about? Hold on. Most people come back, done with their vacations by the time the kids go back to school. Majority.
But I'll tell you something. I have a lot of people concerned that they
A
will
lot.
be here.
Who? Where? How many emails did you get, Jose?
No, I got it presently.
That is nonsensical when you say
I
that.
don't think so. You're telling
Just
me
my
that I'm lying?
opinion. I'm just saying, it's my opinion. When school goes back,
But
we
it's
want
not
to
my
have it.
opinion, the same as
Jose,
yours.
Okay,
But
but
it's-
let me read this to the members, okay? Chapter 720.
Saskia, you know how much we're going to
Hold
spend?
on a second.
lot less than what you spent.
Chapter.
A lot. A lot.
I'm sorry. Excuse me, Jose. Cálmate, okay? You don't have to go there. Because you know we have another issue. Okay?
720 says the way you should.
720.3, members, allow me, Maria, please. Okay, 720.3 reads, special meetings must be held when called by the Board of Directors. True, it was called by the Board of Directors. Or unless a different percentage is stated in the governing documents by at least 10% of the total voting interest. Business conducted at a special
Milena,
meeting.
that has nothing to do with my
Listen,
motion. But it has
business-
nothing to do with my motion,
You know how to
Milena.
make that motion?
10%.
But
Business
Milena, how can you
conducted-
tell me
Hold on.
how many, Milena, that's not,
Allow-
Milena, that's not, we have a motion, Milena, no, Milena, no, we have to keep on, no, Milena, we're not gonna come here and go over where we're going, Milena, no,
Allow me to
Milena.
finish this.
But we have a motion. But we have to make a motion, then somebody seconds, and then we open it for discussion. You're gonna be able to talk, but we have a motion.
I asked you and you allowed me.
No, but Milena, we have a motion. Let's finish the motion.
But it was seconded.
But let's
Guys,
But
please.
you
But the
cannot
right
make
thing
a
is to
motion.
do.
You can't make a
But
motion.
how can you say that I cannot make a motion?
Because it says it right here on 720.
But Milena.
It says it here.
Milena. I don't think, Milena.
Allow me to educate you,
Let me
Jose.
finish and try to tell you something. After I
Allow
come
me
here.
to educate you. It says business conducted at a
Milena,
special
you're out of
meeting.
order, Milena. You are out of order. Please, you're out of order. So now, wait,
That
can
one
we,
true.
I have a motion on the
Bid.
table, right? Is anybody wants to second it? Okay, we have a second.
I'm not going to give an opinion on the validity of the motion, because that's a legal
Let
opinion.
me ask you something. Is the attorney out there? Ask the attorney.
No,
if there
we
could be a
don't
motion.
need
No,
an
the attorney's
attorney.
out
Why
there.
not?
We don't
It's
need
a
an
legal
attorney.
matter.
Milena,
Jose,
you're
I
out of
second.
order.
Jose, I
Okay,
second.
we have a
Yeah,
second.
move on.
We have a
Put it out
second.
for-
Okay, we're gonna open it for discussion at this moment, okay?
So the 4 points.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
So now,
Discussion by the board.
We go, discussion, we
So,
go.
Bum, you really should know how to follow the rules. You were president. Don't, if you start
Sandra
talking,
doesn't.
everybody else will. Let's just go for the board. Just go for the board, please, just the board. No, Boom, just the board. Thank you. Just the board.
Answer.
Okay.
No, but we're gonna open it for discussion.
And Miguel Fernandez can talk.
Boom, respeto.
It's the board.
All right, guys.
You let me talk.
Order.
Everybody will get their opportunity to talk.
Are we gonna follow
We haven't, but, okay.
And everybody will have an opportunity to talk.
Order, please. Order.
Please, guys. Everyone.
Okay. Hold on
Everyone.
a second. Can I finish? Is it my turn yet?
No, it's not. It's-
Okay.
their turn.
Let's see.
Okay, I agree with all the points that you're putting on there. The only one that I have a problem is that anyone from Castle should be handling the proxies.
No,
I don't want anyone from Castle. I don't agree with anyone from Castle.
well, for a third firm.
A third company coming over, separate completely from Castle management.
Okay.
It's for discussion.
It's for discussion.
Guys, please allow the board to finish the discussion. We'll open it up to the floor.
Yes, Maria, and at the end, we're gonna be saving a lot more money than what you really think.
Yeah, I know. How much money we're spending?
No, saving money.
I'm leaving.
All right,
Mr. Chair, next.
No, pero no.
The audience is waiting for us to finish our discussion so that they can speak.
Yo lo mandé.
That's not what your email said.
Bueno,
But
pero
go ahead.
yo lo mandé.
Okay, is it my turn? Is it my turn yet?
Still on board discussion? Board discussion, everyone?
I've already made my comments. I think, and I'll add this. We have been having elections in Doral Isles for 20-plus years. This has been a complete fiasco. Whoever has some responsibility, and again, I state by the fact that I'm thankful that Jose brought this back up because the dates weren't, I never got the dates either before the package. Anyway, I made my comments, let's move it on so that the community can actually
I want to make
share.
a comment too before I agree. I want to make a comment before we go there. Guys, what I'm bringing down here, and I'm going to talk to everybody here, we're just changing things to be more transparent. Don't bring things that we cannot do it. This is a board of 7 and we can vote on it. Come on. We just want to have everything clear. Why not do the correct thing? Everybody can bring all the excuses in the world. We're just asking for things to be done correctly. Everybody makes mistakes. We can change those mistakes and not repeat them again. Come on. Stop looking for la quinta pata del gato. Vamos a hacer esta cosa transparente. Ponemos una caja transparente. We will put a transparent box. We'll lock it down. Nothing comes in, nothing goes out. It goes to the end. We don't have nobody involved. This is transparent. What is the problem with that? Don't bring issues that you want to make it your point and just let's have this correctly done.
We agree with that.
Milena.
Thank you. Again, you're making a motion when 720.3 says that business conducted at a special meeting, which this is a special meeting, is limited to the purposes described in the notice of the meeting. Okay? So it says discussion. It doesn't say motion to approve, motion to change.
It was a mistake by management.
Motion, that's what was said.
I personally discussed it with management.
You had your turn,
But
right?
I'm explaining to you.
But I did not interrupt you.
Take a vote.
Okay?
So let's vote on it. Jose, let's vote on it.
I have the floor. And therefore, I want to bring it up to your attention because this, in essence, will not go through with DBPR. You are holding a special meeting. You need to understand what you're dealing with 720. It specifically says, I'm showing it to you, it's right here, look it up, 720.3.
Thank you, Milena.
Okay?
Thank you. Okay, guys, please.
Special meeting.
Thank you.
Again.
I got you.
You're making a motion
Yeah.
to deviate from the agenda.
No, that's what you're saying. I made
Okay,
a motion.
now,
I sent an agenda
on
that
your
was
point.
coordinated with management.
On your points, I would agree. At a meeting where the agenda says that we are going to add additional policies,
Milena.
okay? Now, when you say, hold on, when you say you're going to, excuse me, ma'am, I think you need to stop speaking up because I'm trying to make my point across and I have the floor, so you're out of order, and I'll ask security to please escort you out.
And the
Order, please. Order. Okay, guys. Okay, order, guys. Listen. Okay, guys.
Party,
listen.
that is a first warning that I have out there.
But listen.
No, we have a resolution.
Discussion,
Okay?
please continue with this.
And I'm sorry, Jose, you should be able to hold a better meeting
Order.
than this.
Thank you.
Okay?
Okay.
Now,
Order.
I'm not finished. I have the floor. So when it comes
Elena.
to
Go.
can I finish?
Yeah.
When it comes to additional policies, Yes, you can put in additional policies, but when you have a $6,000 expense on a package that already went out, all you have to do is put in additional policies. This whole thing about locking the box and making sure that management is not here, all that can be discussed and requested. Okay, you don't need an additional package to go out.
Milena,
Okay, hold
that
on.
package was sent, and I'm
not
gonna,
finished. You
okay,
can
but
answer
I'll
me.
give it to you again.
But you can answer me now, okay? The other thing is, proxies on both dates. It was told to us by the attorneys, and you were not in that conference call because you failed to attend the conference call. We accommodated the conference call 3 times, and you were out of town. I understand you were attending to family matters and everything. However,
right.
and you do, but it is not the board's, it is not the rest of the board members' fault that, one, elections haven't been done. We're here in end of July discussing elections when our elections have always been held on time.
Yeah.
Okay?
But-
I'm not
but
in
we had an
agreement
approval
that
and we didn't-
I am not in agreement that we have had, okay, enough ample time, and you said yourself you have been working 7 months behind the scenes without even
That's not
telling,
true.
without
I
even
came and I
telling.
presented to the board. No, because I'm not gonna
Hold
allow
on,
you.
you did not
No,
present it
I
to the board.
presented to the board and we voted on it and everybody approved it.
No,
Now
7 months
suddenly
ago.
I go to Spain
7 months
and you
ago.
ask for a
Again,
meeting
you're not
and you
letting
change
me
it.
speak up.
Yeah, but you need to tell the facts.
We did not have a back and
But
forth.
you need to tell the truth.
We did not have a back and
You will
forth.
not be lying, Milena.
You said 7 months ago.
the truth.
Okay, again, do I have the floor or not?
Speak the truth.
Please state the facts.
7 months.
Just say the truth.
7 months. You
Please.
said. Did you say that you had been working?
Since December.
Okay, but did you say in your email that you had been working on elections for 7 months?
I can tell you what I read. What I wrote. You want me to read it?
That's my
But
recollection.
let me read it to you so it can be clear.
So the only way I knew that you were going back and
That's
forth.
not true, Milena.
How do you know what I'm saying?
Because we spoke about it. We spoke about it 20 times.
After I saw
I even had a meeting with
invoices,
Milena,
you're
with
not
other-
letting me
with
speak.
you.
After I saw invoices from the attorney saying that you're looking into,
That's not true.
you're looking into a recommendation for electronic ballot voting.
That's not true.
Boom did that study already, okay?
Congrats.
Boom had already studied the fact, and we had a legal opinion on electronic voting.
Milena.
And yet you spent $2,000 on a research that had already been done.
I know, and I'll tell you something
Okay,
too.
so,
Last year too, we
going
had.
back to my point,
Going
that
back-
was
but let
very
me
poor
finish.
judgment on your part.
Okay. And the same way that we got a lien on our property because of a judgment that we canceled the contract of a vendor, and then we came here, and then suddenly because of a bad call,
We're
we
talking
had
about
a lien on the
elections
property.
here, but we're talking about elections.
But don't lie.
Lie about what?
That I didn't communicate with you. I communicated with you.
Speak the truth.
Jose,
I
after
told you.
I
No,
asked
that's
you
not true.
about Curtis.
We mentioned it that I was going to present to the board transparent, and you even told me at the beginning that you didn't want Andy Cuevas' office running the elections. And we agreed that I was going to go there, and we were going to go to.
Andy.
You said Andy Cuevas.
I said,
Okay. Well, and then
I
we
did.
agreed.
Okay.
And then we agreed that I was going to go to Mark's office and make sure that we had a transparent elections. So, look, don't lie, please.
no,
Say
do
the
not
truth.
call me a liar, because let me tell you, if somebody has been lying here 7 months, you working behind the scenes and not communicating
happened.
with
Never happened. No.
Did you communicate? What?
With you and Madeleine.
After I asked you.
No, that's not true.
After
No,
I
I
asked you.
communicated it before.
After I asked you about
Milena, you're out
Curtis.
of order. I'm sorry. I'm
Okay.
going to take your time and you're going to finish.
No, I'm not finished because you keep interrupting
But
me.
say the truth.
What other truth is there?
Speak the truth. Like that board meeting, conference call you
What
had.
I'm sorry, ma'am, I have the floor.
Three
I
board
want to
members,
know
they
why
did
you're
not include
speaking.
the rest of the board.
I have the floor.
They did not
No one
include the rest of
interrupted
the
you.
board.
Do not
You
interrupt
did
me
not
because I
include
have
the rest
questions,
of the board.
okay?
You did not.
I'm sorry.
You made a statement.
Okay.
The
We
point
had a
is,
conference call with the attorney.
we have a legal recommendation that says the directors do not interfere with the day-to-day operations like you did, okay? So,
But we don't write
my
$100,000
Order.
checks.
Order.
Jose,
Order,
again,
please.
I make my point. We were never told that you were going to go and work 7 months on
That's
the
not true.
elections.
That's not
okay?
true.
Yes, we were.
Fine.
Yes, we
beg
were.
to disagree on that.
I disagree.
Well,
knew.
obviously,
I
they
knew.
knew because they knew that you took Ferrando to Gary Marr's office when we had no clue,
Well, I
and
have
you never
nothing to
consulted
hide. I
that.
have nothing to hide.
But you did.
After
Gary
the
went to,
president
but you
electoral
did.
proof.
And
Okay, but that's
Gabriel
the
went
point.
to see Cuevas.
And,
members have a time.
and that is, again,
Time limit on board members, not normally, but obviously.
I would like to ask.
Not
I would
normally.
like to ask that we move along. You have your time.
So
I think
wait,
you're
no,
bringing it
because
too
I have
much.
2 more points to make.
Can I please ask you to make it a little bit
If you
quicker?
stop interrupting me.
But make sure that you state the facts, Milena.
But again, you keep interrupting me. Let's beg to differ.
That was not
okay?
In
So
all honesty, come on.
when you take a non-board member, you waive our rights for client-attorney privilege information. It is also misuse of association funds because Gary is charging the association for a meeting where a non-board member stands right here and says that why are we doing all of these rules and procedures when he had already worked out the rules and procedures with Mr. Mars?
Ask him
So as a board member, I question where are the good business ethics of this board?
But we're discussing
starting with,
electoral
starting
policy.
with you.
We're electing election
Starting with-
policy.
Starting
Talking
with
about
you.
good
Can you help me read? Election policy.
So, I'm sorry,
No.
but it says discussion.
You have one more point,
Okay?
Milena.
It says discussion.
Your next point?
Policy.
Okay? The next one is, I'll go with whatever other procedures you want to implement for this. Because at the end of the day, valid proxies is what counts. But it cannot be approved in a meeting like this.
Yes, it can.
Okay?
Yes, it
It's
will.
a special meeting. I just read you 720, and
Okay.
it needs to be stated on the record.
Thank you. Okay,
Next.
next.
They can't.
Okay, order, please. Let's just finish.
Excuse me?
Yeah, but I'm making
My
order so
turn.
you can speak.
We already spent about $5,000 sending the package out. Jose is willing to spend another $6,000 to send another package out, which all of you are paying for.
Okay, but order.
Excuse me,
Okay,
it's my
order.
Guys,
turn.
wait, let's ask you to finish. This is the board is hungry. The board is still having their
At the
discussion.
end of the meeting, you will know how much we've been
The board is still having their discussion.
Come on, guys, please.
Order.
So,
Come on.
Hire lawyers when all you have is the 720.
Come on, Maria, please, let us finish the discussion.
Maria,
Maria.
You'll have that, you'll have that.
I
Okay.
will show you all the invoices from the lawyer later at the meeting. Okay?
Can,
So we're gonna spend another $6,000. Even though,
Money's gonna be worth.
come on,
Actually, council management should be paying for because you sent out that package without being approved by the board.
Okay.
So you should
The
pay for
package
it.
was approved by the board.
Yeah, but
After the meeting, with directives given to
There's
us
an
to send it out
email
before the
where
end
it
of the following
says,
week.
so do we send that
Order.
out? And I guess nobody answered you, but you did say
order,
that.
please, order, please.
I
Order, come
wasn't
on.
given an
Okay,
order
Saskia has
the scenes,
Saskia
as
has.
usual.
And so,
No, not behind the scenes.
please, let's move on.
Ray will answer that question. Ray?
What am I answering?
No, but let's finish with statement with
Go ahead.
Saskia.
I've already answered the question.
You already answered.
So,
So, Ray, let her finish, please.
I'm asking Ray to speak.
But you have the floor. Finish with the floor, and then I'll
okay,
say
I'll clarify the point right here. I'll clarify the point if you don't mind.
Can we please finish with the statement from board members?
Even the president is asking why it was sent out.
answer. I just want to give the
Who
rules
do
to
you follow
Saskia.
rules
No, but I don't care about
from?
her.
The president or everybody else? It's the
Listen,
president that gives the orders.
Answer. Listen,
At the last
we
board
have
meeting, Jose,
given her the
at the
word.
last board meeting, the package was approved by majority of the board. You were not
Without-
present, but it was approved. So the package was authorized to be produced and mailed.
But important information wasn't disclosed
100% it was.
with all board members. Okay, but finish, yeah, finish. So, but I'm sorry, Mary, let her finish, please.
So,
Yeah. But how can we continue if we don't know what she's talking? Pero, Marine, I'm gonna ask you, let her
Please
finish.
allow the flow of the meeting to take place. Saskia, finish with your points.
Ray, can you go ahead and explain?
What?
Can you clarify what happened at the last meeting?
But this is not, I'm giving the word to the board member to finish their statement. We go later and ask you any questions you will want.
No, I'm giving Ray the floor now.
2018 election policy.
We're not going to what it said on the previous board member, previous meeting.
You don't want to clarify that?
I'm asking to finish it and then we ask him.
But you made a statement, Jose, where you said that.
Milena has the floor again. Let Saskia finish.
You made a statement where you said.
Let Saskia finish. Let Saskia
I'll remove my
finish.
statement and then I'll make it again.
Let
Finish,
Saskia
please.
finish.
Can you go ahead? Clarify.
But there's not a statement. I say I'm removing my statement. Let me finish it. So you finish after you give him the word.
If you want to finish your point, and then I will be more than happy
Perfectly.
to.
That's what I'm asking for.
Let's
Yeah,
finish that way.
you're finished. Okay, perfect. So now, Rick. Okay, listen. I'm gonna clarify. Please state your point.
So, I mean, Enzo was just saying that, and Sandra as well, that the council should be responsible because apparently we made a mistake in sending out the package. What I want to clarify is that at the last board meeting, the package that was presented to you guys was approved. The directives that were given to us were to send out the package, and I think Milena stated, by no later than the following week. Because we needed 3 or 4 days to be able to prepare. Actually, what delayed the mailing of the package was we had to clarify some of the Spanish translation language. If not, that package would have gone out even sooner. So that's what had occurred. As far as the meeting date, again, now, if directives were given to management to come back to the board with a meeting date, that I'm not aware. My understanding is pick a date, let's move forward. In fact, I believe the comment was made by several members of the board stating it doesn't matter whether the board members can be there or not. This is a membership meeting. So if we wanted, now, I don't disagree that we should have advised the board of the meeting dates, but that would not have taken away from the fact that we were told to send out the packet, pick a date, and send it out.
Okay, so now I'm gonna, since I want to tell you something.
It's on
Ray,
radio.
okay, Ray, okay, Ray, listen. Since we have that miscommunication and it wasn't communicated to the board, can we have no cost for a second package to be sent from Castle to help the association?
I mean, Jose, typically if we make a mistake, obviously we will own up to a mistake.
This is not a mistake.
Yeah, it is. Pero,
I want to know.
Milena, let me finish.
I can't authorize that at this point
I'm
in time. But
I'm asking Brian, that you're here, can you please help the association by this misunderstanding in where we would ask Castle to not charge for a second package to be sent?
$6,000.
Well, I'm asking Brian.
That's her input.
$1
That's the
point
clue.
something million account.
So,
please.
I mean, we are work with the association, and we will work with the association. I don't think it sounds like it wouldn't have to be a complete package either. I mean, it sounds like it's a couple points.
well, and so that's the reality
But
of the
the point
situation.
is, would you would Castle help us as you have always done?
Yes.
Thank you. So no cost, okay? Thank you. Thank you. We're good there. Really appreciate it, Brian.
But wait,
Okay,
I want to clarify.
Okay.
Castle will help with just the points that they're requesting, not an entire package.
We'll send the package. Well, no cost.
No, hold on, I want to clarify this because it needs to be clear.
The whole package.
The entire, whole package.
Well, here's my 2 cents. The whole package doesn't seem to be the issue. Correct me if I'm wrong. It seems like it's a couple of points that maybe need to be clarified, which could be truncated down to clarify it in a couple pages, the Spanish and English translation.
I agree with that.
Well, it's 8 or 9 pages a package, and then the thing is that in each page it gives you the thing.
No, but hold on, guys. So to Brian's point,
You have a calculator?
the whole package is 8 pages, right? With the proxy, the voting certificate, the member's intent. A lot of the information does not need to necessarily be clarified. So maybe it's a 1-page clarification on some of the new procedures, and we'd have to ask legal whether or not that would then change, if that would be able to be legal and lawful.
Let's do it now. So now, we have a vote on the table. So everybody in favor? Okay, so we're gonna make a vote. Everybody in favor?
You're going to open it for discussion to the...
You have to open it up to the floor.
Just open it for a time certain, 15 minutes,
Okay,
whatever.
we're gonna open it for...
So before we even open it up, let's clarify the motion, because I know there was a lot of things being said, right? So the motion is essentially to modify the procedures that were sent out with the 4 points that you've listed, whereas the difference between the proxies, the submittal of any proxies that come in the first day, no more than 5 on the second day. The transparent box be placed in the middle of the floor, the changing of the meeting dates to the 12th and the 13th, and obviously no on-site personnel from management.
Yeah.
Okay?
Jose,
At the election, because you guys are going to be out there, doing...
We're not going to be the ones registering anything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
or manipulating any proxies.
No, come on. They're not gonna be here. That's it. They're gonna be here. Okay, but let me just finish the motion. Come on. María, por favor. Okay, so, pero óyeme, no fue a ti.
Yeah.
Entonces, we're gonna open it for discussion for the floor. Only 15 minutes. 2 minutes per resident,
person.
so we can go along. Okay? So 5 questions,
Nancy,
please.
do you guys have a clock?
Okay.
We do.
So any questions?
Somewhere.
I have questions.
Mm-hmm.
What you're discussing doesn't change the package.
Yes, it does. It changes the date.
Okay, it changes only. I want to ask you a question. I know that you want a transparent. I applaud you for that. But let me tell you, in this place, you can never have transparency as long as the proxy is. Because there are people here who specialize in bringing false proxies. And last year we had a major problem with the box that had 2 holes, and one person threw the vote.
Just add 2 minutes already.
It went down, and then there were more votes than people came in.
This
So
way we
as
get
long as you
prevented.
have proxies, you never have a clean agreement.
But we'll try to do their best.
Let her finish, Jose.
What I don't understand is, you're taking precautions that it's all immaterial. You fix that with them, you're gonna put a transparent box, do this, but what I don't understand is the following. Why do we have to go 2 lawyers to get something that the 720 explains, clearly how the election should be run? Because I want to know how, because I've been, and I tell you what, I have been checking the amount of money you guys are spending on a monthly basis, and it's about 5,600. And I don't understand what kind of problems you guys have to spend that kind of money, okay? And then, on top of that, that's not counting what we probably have been spending by asking the lawyers to give
opinions.
To give you opinions that, oh, they should have told you, read the 720. Instead of taking advantage of start charging them. How much, Milena, you signed how much money have we spent in this idiotes?
So far, $8,909.
Okay, do we really need to spend $8,909?
You know, Milena, I'm sorry, Maria. I can answer that question when I have the proper documentation. That's the second line item of the agenda. Just give me a chance and I'll answer it correctly.
I can't believe
Okay.
it.
So, anybody else?
Okay, first of all, I think this should have been done a long time ago.
I agree.
I mean, this board is already done, should be gone.
Yeah,
Now,
I agree.
why 2 days? Why don't we go to the old-fashioned way? 1 day, one big place. Why here? We can't even breathe together. Why don't we go to the other room that we have and allow participation? If that's what we want, we should facilitate people to go there.
It's actually...
Not here, because if it's raining, the people has to be standing
Okay.
outside. Why?
Let me explain.
It is going to be.
Okay, just a quick answer to your question. Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay, another thing. Every single year, in the last 5, it's a new change. It's a new way. It's a new trick. It's a new, different. Why don't we have an established way to go? Why is always surprises? Why is always little changes? Why is always tricky election?
Exactly.
That's what we've been having lately. And look at it here. You're sitting, what, how many? 4, 5, 6, 7? I mean, how many are running this community?
I'm not.
I mean, my impression is that association has been kidnapped. and it's time to get it back.
Yes,
It's time
bravo.
to have it back again.
Right.
The right way. This is the right time and the right day to say, once and for all, let's do things, not for me, not for you, not for a little group, not for 3 or 4.
That's what we're trying. That's what we're trying. That's what we're trying.
Thank you very much.
And just to make it clear that I want you to understand, but I don't want to go too long, but just quickly. The only reason why both firms of lawyers are recommending 2 days, it's because we need time to validate the proxies. That's the only reason. But just have it there. Let's just finish so we can go on a vote. My phone is dying.
The membership hasn't changed since first year, 1721. It hasn't grown. We're not 20,000, 30,000. It's the same number. And we used to handle it 1 day.
Let's just move on. Okay, any other question? Okay, any other questions?
I have a question for you. You're Dominican, I'm Dominican, so we understand each other.
Qué bueno, un paisano.
No sponsors yet, because I know your history as much as pretty much not many people probably know. Your mother comes from a corrupted background.
My mom? I am sorry, sir, but I'm not going to allow you to do that.
She wasn't part of the party for...
That's inappropriate.
No.
That's inappropriate.
That has nothing to do
Excuse
with
me,
it.
that has nothing to do
If
with
you want to
our
tell something about my mom, you can wait for me outside. And explain it to me.
Please.
My mom was...
The reason you don't know about where money's going is because you come from a messed background.
You're wrong, sir.
Hardy,
You're wrong.
Hardy, please, I will not allow this gentleman to come here and talk like that.
Does he even live
It's very
here?
inappropriate.
But you know what? I don't care.
Does he live
I
here?
have nothing to
Or
hide.
did someone bring him in? He was probably invited. Did you text him?
So now my mom and my sister's mom is corrupted. All right, great.
Well, that's only because you're bringing in a sensitive issue.
Don't worry. It's all right. I don't mind.
You guys, you can decide and vote or whatever issue you may deem necessary to do the election and run the association. What I have to tell you, Sandra,
Nancy,
Nancy,
hit the button.
Address
Hit
to
the
me
button.
to follow the rules.
Oh, it's only 1 minute.
I should
only
say that you guys have to follow the rules too. You have to arrive at 7:20. And by making a motion and voting on this issue, whether or not it's put in the agenda was an error, you need to follow the statute. That's one thing. The other thing is, we're here in the middle of July. The election is going to be held in September now. So whatever you think that I deserve a little bit of...
I'm sorry. I apologize. It's just that it got to me. My sister is not.
I understand, but I think that I deserve a little bit of...
Totally, you're right.
So,
Someone just walked out. Maybe you should tell Milena the same thing.
Yes, can he finish talking?
Yeah, because Milena walked out.
It's fine. So, we're in the middle of July, and the election you have been discussing, going back and forth with, all these decisions and policies and whatever. And I understand where you're coming from. I understand that you guys want to have a transparent election. That's all what it is.
Yeah.
But you should have done this prior and held the election on a time. Okay, in June, when it should be.
I agree. Thank you. But I'm sorry. But boom. Just to tell you something of my feelings, I voted and I brought into the board meeting a procedure on June so we can have the election as soon as possible. Suddenly, I walk out and a new procedure was presented. But I just want to give you my point.
But let's face it, the reality is we're here.
Yeah, let's move. Let's do this.
And I was crucified because we held the election on June 2nd.
I got you.
Okay? So here's the double standard, okay, of the...
I didn't crucify you, boom.
No. I'm not talking to anyone.
Okay.
I'm just talking to the board.
But
so here we are in the middle of July, still discussing
Hambre.
You please?
Yeah. Boom, please.
So here we are in the middle of July, and the election is going to be held in September. So, guys, please put your shit together. And
I thank you very much, Boom. I appreciate your words. All right, so we're going to take a vote now.
Yes.
All right. Everybody in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Lely, hay un voto. hay un voto para en este momento.
Okay. Ahora, para yo, ¿verdad? Porque estoy aquí, entonces, I was lost because of all the things they were, talking. Okay, now, this is voting for to change the date?
Sí, cambiando el día, changing the date, allowing
But they're going to vote
two days.
Okay.
Yes, allowing 2 days to vote. And
So,
lo que estamos cambiando es we're putting a transparent box locked by 2 locks, one key from one firm and another key from another firm.
okay.
No council present personnel at the elections. A new crew is going to come in, and
Y los the keys.
the lock for the clear crystal, one firm has one. Yeah,
Okay, that's it.
that's it. Huh? And change the date from the 28 to
On-site team in,
al 12 y el 13 de septiembre.
Okay.
now, the notice, the same notice that we changed, just change it.
No, we changed the package. We're changing it. Yeah, and no cost of the association.
The 4 points.
Okay.
We've said.
So, two of them? We have a... Okay, listen, can you please record? Maureen, can you please record this? Are you in favor, Leslie?
Okay, hold on a second.
Yes, I'm in favor.
Yeah.
Okay, we have a vote.
That's it. 1, 2, 3, 4.
So, my 2 is a yes,
So anybody again?
for a yes. Anybody against?
What is the date?
Hold on.
Okay, anybody against?
Saskia, no?
Okay, Madeleine, no.
Okay.
Okay.
But for clarification purposes, because the whole time Ray has been reading these 4 points.
It's a new
which is-
package.
Hold on, I understand that, but that's what I want to know, because we have to have the directive. Remember, we go based on your directive.
I'll give you the directive. I'll give you the directive, Maureen.
Because all the time Ray has been reading these 4 points, which is the proxies. The
No, Milena.
first and second date. Hold on a second, I want to be clear, because I want to make sure we're doing things and we won't have to come back to a meeting again, and then we have a miscommunication or whatever. Transparent box with all the whistles and, one key and all that good stuff. Change in meeting dates to September 12 and 13, and no on-site council management team during the annual elections. Those are the 4 points that we've been reading. Now you're telling me, hold on a second, that we need to change the whole entire package.
Because
We're changing the package.
Okay, because
it's just going in.
But I put it, I said canceled.
Just send a new package.
Yeah.
But so this is where we have the misclarification or direction, because this is the 4 points that Ray has been reading all along, we have been in discussion.
Yeah,
and we need to
let's do it correctly. No cost.
So-
There's no
so
cost.
let me-
There's
let-
no cost. He said it, no cost. And we're gonna.
Let me,
Okay, can you put that Leslie move the? She left the conference.
she's no longer on the phone?
No.
Okay, so we have 6 members here.
She already gave her vote. So it's yes.
I'll call Leslie again. Okay.
This is not something
Okay.
that can be done.
Second item on the agenda.
So are we done with the first?
1, 2,
Yeah.
3, 4, 5. That's
6.
6.
Leslie was on the phone.
Yeah, good night, Leslie.
It's okay, Leslie, thank you.
These 4, and that's what the.
Right.
It was my motion, right?
One of the things I wanted to clarify on that motion was because you said you wanted to modify Gary's original. So Gary's original had the 3 discrepancies that we talked about, the 4 discrepancies that we talked about, and then you modified these as well.
And the discrepancy is that we're gonna request ID, not
Optional.
But that's already on the
Yeah.
package that went out.
Yeah.
It was calling the meeting to order the first day versus the second day.
Yeah.
Right? Whether meeting was called to order the first day versus the second day. So we're gonna leave it on the second day.
No, I'm good that we do it on the first day.
To call the meeting to order on the first day. So I think, Jose, the point
is that we want to send a new package.
Yeah, the point is it just seems like we're just clarifying certain points in the package versus having to resend a brand new one.
A lot of people, you send a whole new package, I'm not gonna show
So, you know what? I guess the motion that was approved is to modify the procedure. We can talk about how the package will actually go out,
We can
okay?
talk later.
To clarify.
Okay. So now, with second item on the agenda, please. 4 to pass. 4. Sandra, Enza, Jose, and Leslie, yes, and the other ones, no. Okay. And we have another item, which can I see it, please?
legal update?
Yeah, Milena wasn't here. Second item,
Next item.
Yeah, guys.
What is the item?
I'll read it now. So now we have pending legal update request. I have personally asked Cuevas' office for an update of all pending legal matters that he and his firm is handling, outside regular collections or whatever contracts. And I have asked Gary the same request, but I don't get an answer. So I'm actually going to make a vote here so we can have the board approve that we get all the pending legal.
Make it quick. Second, let's take a vote here. We'll use form.
No, I'll go.
Let's go, Leslie.
So.
Leslie's on the phone because there's no quorum.
There's still quorum. She's in the room. Take a vote.
No, don't worry. I'll call this.
Well, she has to be part of that vote.
But this is just shameful that just because we don't agree now, they step outside.
What's the purpose? 850, recording Saskia.
What's the purpose? Well,
Well, you get her on the line.
Well, if we can get Leslie
I have
on the line,
personally asked
It's the legal bills, Maria.
legal bills that they say it's 8,000, and I understand it's like 50,000 from Cuevas, and I want to make sure what it is.
50,000, huh?
All I'm telling you is that you're spending too much money.
Yeah, that's why we're doing this.
Okay, no. Right now, it's costing an extra $10,000.
No, there's not an extra.
You didn't need to spend. You didn't need to spend the money to be spending on lawyers.
Oh my God.
Milena,
Do the same like we used to
Maria,
do years ago.
you're
Everybody
correct.
came in,
You're correct.
Everybody, nobody was prevented from coming anybody. Here it's just like, I've never seen anything like this.
I agree.
I've been in 4 boards.
Maria, and I agree, because even today, having someone here was a surprise, and it's more money. The other thing is,
Una cosa segura, para pedir el documento del abogado.
we don't even know what's going
Estamos tomando un voto.
on. We don't know what they're doing.
Go ahead and make a motion, Jose. Maria, give us.
Okay, sorry.
One
We have
second.
Leslie on the line. We have a quorum right now.
Okay, Leslie's back on the line, so we've.
So I made a motion to have the board approve to have both legal firms with a summary to the board members with all pending legal matters of the association, both Cuevas and Gary Mar's office. Everybody, I have a motion. Anybody wants to second it?
I'll second it.
Okay. Is it the question?
Yeah, I wholeheartedly, yes.
Okay. So we got any discussion?
Just real brief, it needs a timeline, and I would request that the president work with the both law firms on getting this information.
72 hours. 72 hours. Okay, so everybody in favor?
Aye.
Leslie?
I in favor. Yes.
I in favor.
Okay.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
How many attorneys are going to be here? About 50. You want to do it?
There was no need, listen, there was no